Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to your monthly peace report. This is the Peace Dealer. And welcome to Libra season. Happy birthday, Monique. Welcome to quite a pivotal season 3. We are officially stepping through the fall equinox, and we are stepping into season 3. Shout out to those of you watching live on Instagram. Shout out to those of you watching live on YouTube. Let's get this show on the road, shall we? Yeah. With that being said, I'm glad the timing is perfect. Shout out to those of you guys. Thank Double Shot of Venus. The reason why I'm actually going live now instead of 2 hours earlier, we did that poll, and I think more of you decided. And shout out to AJ. Thanks for making it. Thanks for showing up. You guys decided you wanted to see these lives later at 5 PST, and I'm totally fine with that. I've scheduled everything there. Big Libra season. I'm going to be breaking down, of course, this Libra season ahead, and we have a lot to talk about. You see that 0-degree opposition to Neptune in Aries. This is the beginning of a 13-year transit all the way through 2039, where Neptune will enter Taurus after. If by yesterday's video you mean the universals, thank you guys for checking it out. I didn't think you guys even saw that one. I'm gonna be completely honest. I have to go back and see the comments. Okay. But yeah, for anyone who saw the new World War Zero, let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna go in on episode 5. I'm gonna really talk about the combinations. So I hope you really did fucks with that. We, of course, at this stage, like I mentioned with the Neptune opposition, this is going to pretty much kick us in gear. And I have a lot of themes that I want to talk about that will make this Libra season different, of course, from any Libra season that you've ever experienced. Mainly, if you look at this chart configuration, we have the opposition to Neptune, we have the trine to Pluto, we have the trine to Uranus. We want to pay attention to these 3 points because we're going to have this Pluto trine to Aquarius for the next 19 years. We're going to have this Neptune opposition for the next 13 years. We're going to have this Uranus trine for the next 7 years. Okay. And shout out to those of you who are getting raptured on the 23rd, depending on what time zone you're in. Shout out to Kev on stage who pointed out no one knows the time or the hour, but depending on the time zone you're in, the rapture has technically already happened because it's the 23rd somewhere. All right. It's totally not the recent eclipse and this what did some lady called it eclipse psychosis. I don't think those are the exact words she used, but yeah, this eclipse is having people come up with more harebrained theories and ideas than ever. Pisces is involved. So people are going to be cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. But it is what it is. Shout out to Pisces. I feel like when Pisces is delusional, it's sanctioned. It's okay. It's okay. At least a delusional Pisces will help you see different aspects to something, even if they're not factually correct. So I don't mind. Saturn is having integrity in it. It'll have you at least look at the situation different. But for the collective to go full fish tard, it's never really a good thing. That being said, I want to go into this. Before we go into this, one thing I want to say and just kind of illustrate, of course, when we I still do have the ultimate manifestation playlist down below. I want to theme a lot of this peace report around, of course, this concept. Or I want to revisit a lot of manifestation. I want to revisit a lot of you being the creator of your own reality. Okay. Right now, I am talking to God. I'm talking to God right now. You summoned me so that I could, of course, play through this facet of your experience. You manifested me right now. I'm literally you pushed out. Okay. You could say that God is a universal force and entity that is, through this illusion of duality, experiencing individuality through the plethora of beings. All right. And while you have people on a religious battle trying to argue which rendition and interpretation of God is correct so that they can fearmonger people with manipulation, I'm here to tell you that free will is an illusion and a lie you were sold since a child. Predeterminism is very real. Everything you have ever experienced and could possibly experience has already happened. God and time move backwards. And yeah, all you need to do is be. There is absolutely nothing you can do to stop all the good that you decided you were going to experience before you were even born. And that's really, some people really hate to accept a hard deterministic look as such, because it doesn't necessarily allow many to manipulate the wills of others if they know that most of this shit has already happened. We're literally just remembering the future. For those of you who predict many events, it's not hard for you to understand about this because you're only able to predict this given the fact that it's already happened. Why don't you have free will? Because, well, it's already happened in a sense. The idea, the very nature of you perceiving this reality is a dream. It's an illusion. So in order for you to have will, you have to remember that you are not even aware of everything that is occurring. Scientifically speaking, you are aware of less than 0.1% of the electromagnetic spectrum, alluding to an existence outside of the third dimension. You're quite literally like a two-dimensional being interacting with the third dimensional being outside of just that left, right, up, and down, which can influence your reality. You're not necessarily aware of that fourth dimension as you experience it within this illusion and flow of time. So your brain is desperate. Your brain is desperate in order to feel some semblance of control. You have to feel like you are affecting some causality. And that's why when I talk about manifestation, we're not trying to teach you how to manipulate reality. We're not trying to tell you how to change reality. We're not trying to tell you how to do anything. You are manifesting right now. That's why you're here watching me. You are, by consequence, being in every moment. If you think that, you're going to fail at what you're doing, what's going to happen is still going to happen. If you think you're going to succeed at what you're doing, what's going to happen is still going to happen. Of course, your input is going to be a part of that, but understanding that all of that is deterministically caused by all your past experiences and events, there's only so much you could do. Here, I'll prove to you right now, free will is an illusion, right? If you think you have free will, go jump off your building. Go up to a 7-story building and jump off. If you truly believe you have free will, go run, take your free will and run in the street and get hit by a car. Dead ass. Because technically, if you have free will, you should be able to do it, but you're not. None of you are about to do that. None of you will do that. Because the series of decisions you've made in your life, the way you've been raised, the environment around you has led up to this moment, which is going to influence the range of what possibly you're going to do. Just like those of you with children, if a knife is about to fall on your child's face, okay, Colby, no, Pisces don't count. Y'all are different. Y'all will probably do some shit like that. It is what it is. Hold on. But if a knife is about to fall on your child's face, you instinctually are going to catch it and pick it up. There's no fucking reality unless you missed it where you're not going to go for it. That's not free will. That's determined. We can predict that you're going to do that. That's not the tell-all proof. that you have free will, but it's a good insight into understanding that a lot of things that seem like you have the possibility really isn't. It's really just an illusion. This is the illusion of separation. So when I say that I'm talking to God, you, the illusion of separation is anything that causes you to believe that I am separate from you, that this is separate from you. And that's why America, it's going to be so hard for America to have a revolution, but it was so easy for Nepal to do it in 2 days. We politicized the assassination or the death of a conservative speaker, and in no time have made it a left versus right, even though the shooter probably wasn't a leftist, to the point that we have to create conspiracy theories that someone else is involved and it couldn't have been someone personal. And people rely so much on state-sponsored media that, the idea of people reaching a breaking point to where they just finally come together seems impossible. All right. And shout out to the Instagram video, the person who said, I'm literally, you check out that video. I don't know. I forgot the name of the person who did it, but I mean, it's definitely rhetoric and discourse, right? The illusion of separation is this illusion that there is a specific path to make it to the truth, that you have to worship this religion, you have to worship that religion, right? When realistically, there's nothing separate from you. And I am talking to God right now. I am with you, regardless of how you personally uniquely express this. What I'm doing is the Lord's work in service of the universe. I'm talking to the living universe within you that you are expressing right now. Okay. So there's nothing, and look at me. I want to remind you, everything you've intended, because we had this new moon in Virgo, the theme that we're setting forth for the rest of the years, we're set for life, baby. The fuck? We're infinity years. We don't want for nothing. So when I say you have it, you have it. Your life is a process of unfolding. So some of you who I tell to go do the ultimate manifestation playlist, or I give you these resources, you get confused because you're like, oh, well, I said all these affirmations and I did all of this, but where's the money? Where is it in my bank account? Where is this? And you are simultaneously affirming that you don't necessarily have it. But let me remind you, whether you affirm that you have it, whether you tell yourself that, oh, I don't believe that I don't have this money, it's already done. Nothing is going to stop the fact that you're set for life. Does that make sense? I want to kind of remind you that all the surrendering and the non-doing and just being isn't as simple. When we say surrender, you're not just giving up and stopping doing something. Once again, your brain is obsessed with having some sense of control. I have to affirm, so this is going to happen. I have to visualize, so this can happen. But like, you don't have to do that for breathing, right? I read somewhere, which was very beautiful. When we talk about affirmations, when we talk about manifestation, it's all about letting go of control. It's literally just being. Non-doing is surrendering to the fact that there's absolutely nothing you can do to get in the way of what you decided you have. So it's going to unfold. You are unfolding every moment. It is the sun shining on you, and you are photosynthesizing that shit. And you are just receiving. You are aligning. You are not giving up. You are giving in to the experiences, of course, you are going through. So if you are riddling yourself with anxiety and doubt, like how many times have you riddled yourself with anxiety and doubt only for you to still get what you wanted and realize, oh, it wasn't that bad? Because your desires come from this higher self portion of you. You wouldn't have wanted it if it wasn't there. And every single possibility that there is for you to have this has already happened. You just need to choose it and get out the fucking way like you ordered from DoorDash. Okay. So once again, all right. I want to remind you there's nothing you can do to sabotage what is already for you. Feeling is the secret. All you have to do, you can use techniques, but let me remind you, affirming does not manifest your desires. Visualization does not manifest your desires. Having a high vibration does not manifest your desires. Believing in what it is you want to manifest does not manifest the amount of stuff I manifested that I didn't even believe, I think is almost every manifestation. I manifested stuff real time while not believing it, and it still happened. None of these things manifest. You and only you manifest. That's it. Just by you deciding this is what I am, I'm set for fucking life. And every single person watching me right now that I'm serving is set for life. And I am serving the true God, goddess within them that they are. Not this lie of a number and archetype that society has labeled them as. That's not who I'm serving. I'm serving the true you. That's why you hear. That's why you hear real, recognize real. So I just wanted to demystify all that. Some of you are still making very difficult the fact that you want something you already got. And there, I have to reemphasize, there is literally nothing you have to do. Your brain wants to control every outcome and feel as if, oh, if it doesn't happen like this, if it doesn't happen like that, right, then it's not happening. The way you relax is to tell yourself to shut the fuck up. And I tell myself this too. I'm telling this to myself more than you. Tell yourself to shut the fuck up. I got this. Literally, just give it away to yourself. Literally just have as much faith in yourself to tell yourself, you know what? I got this shit. I'm just going to tell your brain to shut the fuck up. Because when you finally release, your brain trips out. It's like, I have to control the situation. But what about this? But what about that? But what about this? But what about that? But what about this? But what about that? And none of that shit fucking matters. This is why I gave you receipts. This is why I told you on 2 separate occasions, I said money flows to me naturally and easily. Did I know how the money was going to come? No. In fact, I just said that shit. I wasn't just like, yes, I'm going to get this tomorrow. No. But the very next day, money that I had in my TuneCore account and my 401k account on 2 separate occasions years ago said, hey, you still want this money? We about to take it. Do you still want it? Yes, I want this money. Thank you. I didn't have to know. I didn't have to. That's how fucking powerful you are. But we get impatient. We have to have this by this time. It has to fit within our box when every single thing you are meant to be, every single thing you're meant to have, and you're meant everything you want. You're meant to have everything you want. It is unfolding naturally for you. You just have to be. You just have to be okay with having it right now. That's literally all you have to do. So I want you to examine every single difficulty you have in your magic abilities and your manifestation is because you do not accept that one single fact. Colby was on our team. He did not promote one single video. This man only did word of mouth. This man did not make a single video for our team. And he is the highest selling reader. He was the highest selling reader in our team. Pisces shit. Literally. Just off of being himself. That's it. Just off of being. If you get redirected, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying I'm set for life. Yes, it's because he's a Pisces. We know it's because he's Pisces. But that being said, I'm saying I'm set for life. That's not going to stop me from picking up a part-time job if I want to. I still know I'm set for life. I know that this is what's unfolding for me. Just like Jim Carrey knew he was going to get $10 million when he wrote himself that check. And it didn't come overnight. He still had to work and put himself and align himself with that. But what do you know? And I'm not saying this in a sense where you just have to decide and one day down the line, it's good. You have it now. You have it now. So moving forward, we're at the breakthrough helm. This is we're reimagining breakthrough for a whole new world. It's not like 6 months ago where we finally activated the end of the cycle. This is it. Michael Jackson. Okay. So moving forward, I'm doing this to those of you who you know you're God. Period. If you're still hesitating and pussyfooting that you're God, get the fuck out this chat. That's it. I'm telling you that right now. If you still feel like that's blasphemy, like, well, my pastor said that that's a false God, and get the fuck out of here. This is for gods only. This is for those of you who know you're the universe, living and breathing. This is for those of you who know that I am not separate from you. This message is for those of you who know you are God. You are now God, period. God, goddess, Lord, lady. And I don't mean like I'm better than thou. I'm God. Everyone's beneath me. No, you know there's a universe within you. You know that you know why you're here. You know you are experiencing as a droplet of the eternal ocean that is this universal godly entity, however the fuck we want. Okay, period. You know you're God. You know you're goddess. You know everything that happens for you in your life is because of you. You know that you are the ultimate source of everything you are having. You just have to decide, be it, and receive it. Be, do, have. Because moving forward, let me tell you, this shit is not for the weak. We are going to step into a brand new Aries cycle 6 months from now that hasn't really been activated since 95, and a Neptune cycle that hasn't been activated since the Civil War. And I'm telling you, if you do not know who you are, if you are not square on what and who you are, you are going to allow a godless society to label you and tell you that for you, you're finished. You are not going to make it through this next round of the Hunger Games. It is only those who know themselves and rather who know their God who will do exploits. I just told you who I thought I was. A God. There you go. Do you feel me? That's it. We are not pussyfooting. We are not allowing religious zealots who realistically really just dick ride a faith they know nothing of to tell you who and what you are, to peer pressure you into to denying everything the universe has revealed through you. Okay. And people who are talking about the rapture are no different from people who talked about the rapture 2010, 2011. This shit just keeps going back and round and round and round. Okay. Even though the Old Testament and the New Testament is about as real as Spider-Man the comic and Naruto and Boruto, except Naruto and Boruto actually have authors you know who existed. Spider-Man, we actually see cameos of the people who wrote the novel. You really can't account for the original manuscripts of these plagiarized texts that account for the 70 plus books that make up, of course, some of the most controversial but most successful canon fiction that we've ever seen. Okay. So you're like, people who are telling you the rapture is coming tomorrow are no different than me saying, hey, I read Dragon Ball Z and I saw that this year the Saiyans land on Earth. And like, before you laugh at me, because hold on, bro. I read Jujutsu Kaisen. The Inhuman Majuku Showdown happened recently, bro. If you read JJK, Sukuna fought Gojo, and Goku saved Universe 7 in the Tournament of Power. And I just hate that I know Goku is real, right? And y'all will call me crazy, but these people tell you Moses really existed and you call them wise and religious. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So the same people who are telling you that the rapture is happening tomorrow, that Jesus Christ was born in Nazareth, that Abraham really existed, is no different from me telling you that Goku saved the world from the Tournament of Power and that Gojo really fought Sukuna. But we're called weebs and otakus, and they're called religious. Like, make that make sense. It's one of the craziest psyops ever. They have a certain presentation backed by theologic organizations, and they get no tax. But if I wanted to start the Church of Goku, they gonna tax me. They're not gonna consider this a nonprofit tax entity. So we're cutting off all that BS, okay? And what's very important, the only rapture that's gonna happen is you being caught up to your crown chakra. We can make that compromise, is you actually awakening out of the illusion of this separation, okay? And shout out to the Super Saiyans here. All right, so we're going to go into Libra season, and the reason why that's significant for you. But before I do, I wanted to just reemphasize, when it comes to manifestation, especially for those of you who just joined the chat, I have the Ultimate Manifestation playlist down below. You need to understand this is not a process. This is not necessary. It's the prerequisite. For those of you who want to actually learn magic, please understand most courses are 4 to 8 years. If you want, and then if you learn in magic, that's why the magician masters, the masters who are psychic, they're old as fuck. You don't just instantly, you can be gifted at a young age, but it takes a lot of experience. So the prerequisite to magic is the law of assumption. You have to understand that what you intend, you have right now. You are aware of less than 1% of the electromagnetic spectrum. So for you to look and perceive your reality and think you know what you have or not, you're delusional. You're already hallucinating and you're already dreaming. So all the law of assumption is telling you is there's absolutely nothing you have to do. You don't have to you don't have to say affirmations. You don't have to visualize. Those things don't manifest. You do it because you want to. Affirmations work because you want them to work, because you want to repeat that. Visualizations work because that's what you see. You are always doing this already. When you see that vision of something before it's going to happen, when you now, of course, visualize like, I need to have $500. I'm seeing $500. I'm seeing 500. You're not manipulating reality in order to make this happen. You are quite literally just deciding and choosing what you are and what's going to happen. That's why I was able to manifest $1,000 within a day. That's why I was able to manifest 700, 300 within a day. That's why every single time I tried to force it, it never worked, because that's not how it works. There's time doesn't exist. The psychological time that we have, the universe does not exist in the sense of 5 minutes, 3 minutes, and 10 minutes. We created these systems to measure the flow and systems of time. Psychological time does not exist. And yes, Pam Grout, collapsing the quantum wave. All right. The reason why I'm saying this is, for those of you who have been mastering this, you are going to break through into more supernatural capability than you've ever done, because you've understood the prerequisite, the law of assumption. What you assume is real. Okay. How you actually show up and be is what will be and is what already is. So the reason why I'm saying that is, the example we're going to use is we're set for life. Look at me. We are set for fucking life. Not a single person here is broke. I'm talking to God. You are God. I'm talking to God right now. How are you broke as fuck? You're divine. You're not even of this world. That's why I have the pleasure of serving you. And you better not have the audacity to doubt who and what you are. That's not why you're fucking here. Okay? So look, we're set for life. We've been set for life. You need to release this idea that your brain has to control how it happens. There's nothing you can do to get in the way of this. It is as certain as your death. Period. You get to choose how you want to experience it. And that's because you have to actually be. If you're tooing your head like, how am I going to make this happen? I'm set for life. I'm set for life. I'm set for life. Like, you can do affirmations like that if that's what you want to do. But if you're doing it to force it, you're not understanding that that's not the power. You are the source that everything stems from. It's because of you I'm here right now. You created this situation. You summoned me. Yeah, I scheduled this at the time I did, but you ultimately summoned me. I'm literally you pushed out. So that's why I'm saying one more time. If you don't know your God, because this is God talk moving forward. If you do not know you are God, if you do not know we are not separate, if you do not know you are an individualized personalization of this collective nature that is the all, get the fuck out of here. This is not for you. You're not going to like what I'm talking about anyway. Trust me. You want to give your power away to something external to you. This is not for you. Okay. You want to blame everything outside of yourself for why you're here. This is not for you. Okay. This is for those of you who know what and who you are. You are very aware that you are the source of your experiences. How other people react to you is their karma. They have to take the karma back. How you respond and how you react is only your karma. Okay. So for those of you who are ready, I just wanted to put that in mind, right? And relative to that, we are set for life. I want you, while we are still in this new moon in Libra, envision, what are you right now? What is everything you feel that is in blocking? Oh, if only I still had this. Your inability to accept your moment as it is now and to still say, oh, I need this in order to be happy, or oh, things will be good unless I had this, versus just embracing this right now. Everything that you want is here right now. It is unfolding throughout this time space for you. All you have to do is accept it. All you have to do is accept it. The way I didn't have to know that I was going to get email that had $700 in my 401k account is the way you don't have to know you're already set for life. You already got it right now. You already got it right now. So all you have to do is just fully immerse yourself moment to moment. If you want to do visualizations, if you want to affirm, I have the resources down below. None of these things manifest. You do, but these things help align you with it because you want them to. It's literally no right or wrong way to do this. You can cry your way to success. You can complain your way to success. What's already happened has already happened. Is going to happen to you. Okay. So I just wanted to get that out the way. Just as good news that congratulations, you made it. It's already done. It's already done. Be mindful of institutions, forces, and individuals that trick you out of your power, that want you to believe you don't have the power. You have to rely on anything outside of yourself to get what you want. That is a lie. That is a lie. Okay? Okay. All right. Boom. Crygasms are our next level manifestation. Affirmations. You're constantly manifesting. So as we apply this in Libra season, we are breaking through the previous 6 months that activated and integrated our last cycle of this old world and prepared the portal through which we're breaking through into the new world. And for reference, this is the last 6 months ago, obviously, coming into the eclipse in Pisces. And we are harvesting everything we retrograded with Venus and Aries, the sextile of Pluto Aquarius, giving the actualization of this next turn of the supernatural, right? And of course, in 6 months from now, we will officially begin these brand new cycles, okay? Let me show you the rundown. We're going to have the party in Aquarius, Mars, Venus, Mercury, Pluto, all in Aqua, okay? Then we're going to have the last eclipse in Pisces, which is going to show you how your beliefs have completely changed. Then we're going to have one of the most important cycles ever in Aries. The last time we had a Sun, Neptune, Aries was the Civil War, the first Civil War. The last time we had the Sun Saturn Aries was like 95, 97 when Pokemon first came out. Yep, Pokemon. All right, everyone knows Digimon is probably slightly better, but Pokemon is the shit too. And then, of course, we are going to have Sun, Uranus, Gemini, which is going to be a very important cycle, carrying forth Uranus and Gemini up until 2032, where Saturn will catch up with it. And 2033, they will both go into Cancer. This is relevant if you were born 86 and 87 with Saturn, Uranus, and Sagittarius. And then if you are like me, 88, 89, 90, Saturn, Uranus, and Capricorn, the 2033 to 2035 is very important for you. So that's that. And then, of course, we're going to have Sun, Jupiter in Leo. Okay. Very important. So next year, of course, GTA 6 is going to drop. It will be referred to as Civil War 1 by 2027. Facts, bro. Facts. Yes. So like that being said, yo, this lineup next year is one of the best lineups I've ever seen. And the reason why it's important to really illustrate that, go back to 2008 when Pluto just entered Capricorn. Go back to 2018 when Uranus just entered Taurus. This is one of those years where we are activating the first part of this new cycle. So it's not going to be until the end that we get an idea of the taste of this. And that's why this period is so important. Look again, we have Pluto, Neptune, Uranus. And for reference, let's look last year. Capricorn, Pisces, Taurus. We have not experienced what we are experiencing this year ever. It was, if so, it was 250 years ago. Give or take. So that's why this is very important. Last year, everything from 2008 up until now, Pluto was here. From 2012 up until now, Neptune was here. From 2018, and we can even go back to 2010, right? To now, Uranus was from Aries to Taurus. So as we come back this year, this is the first time we're kicking this in. So I want you to see this as you go into your apartment complex, you go into your home gated community, you go into your workplace, and now you're seeing new management everywhere. The utilities you used to use, the old management that your parents were familiar with, they all got bought over. They all got replaced with artificial intelligence and automation. It's completely new. Okay, and that's why it's important to understand the difference between the past 6 months, where we can see the last conjunction obviously was in Pisces. As you can see, the last time we had Sun, Neptune, and Saturn was in Pisces, okay? Versus next 6 months from now, where the next conjunction is going to be in Aries. That, my friends, is night and day. And you're going to experience this over the next 6 months. Right now, I want you to think about the past 6 months and how that has gotten you here. Because as of present, right, even though this is the next 6 months ahead, and this is going to show the activation of these new contracts, as of now, we are breaking through all of the belief systems and the mastery of these behavioral patterns and habits that is helping us break through. And I want to really get through these themes before we really talk about Libra season, so you can understand the most important facets and themes that we are 100,000% going through. Okay. So yeah, with that being said, if I got your attention, let's break down the past 6 months. We activated this portal out of the old world. And mind you, if you remember, 2023 was Noah's Ark. This is what I was saying was Noah's Ark. You built Noah's Ark. You got on Noah's Ark. This was around the time it took Noah to be in the boat. And now you're getting ready to leave the boat. By the time we come back to this part next year, you're on the new land. Okay, so this is that process of leaving the boat, getting the animals out, blase, blase, blah. So Aries activated this final authority, this final individuality relative to this old cycle. Who are you right after you finished your contract with your record label? Okay, and this is why I want to use this analogy. Who are you? And for some of you, you could be pulling a Frank Ocean. If you don't understand what Frank Ocean did, Frank Ocean finessed his label like any Scorpio does. All right. Let me not just say he's a zodiac sign. He's Frank Ocean. Frank Ocean had one more album. I don't even know the deal. I'm giving you the spark notes. I don't know the full details of this. Frank Ocean had one album to get out of his record deal and label. And he gave him some foo-foo, boo-boo ass album. Good music, right? But let me not say his work was bad, but like, he didn't give them what he would have really put in. He kind of gave them some boilerplate teaser stuff, pull a Prince. I'm not saying the quality was there. I'm just saying he gave them was something to just get out of the album. That's what this year feels like. That's why I'm saying don't really push yourself too hard this year, because a lot of you are just getting out of old contracts. These contracts are in the form of complicit social agreements you only really participated in because your parents told you, because your society told you, because the collective beliefs around put you in through that. Versus next year, like Frank Ocean, when now you're in a deal you want to be in, and now you really put out music that's original to you, that's authentic to you, that doesn't have this usurpation over creative control. And I want to be careful with what I say, because not every record label is as devious as artists make them out to be. Some artists just have horrible negotiation skills and they just don't know how to form contracts. So I don't want to demonize labels, but let's just use the analogy of a predatory label, whether it's in music, whether it's in TV, right? And it doesn't have to be predatory. It could just be old management. Now, you're either signing to new management next year or you're becoming independent. This is the new age of independence. Shout out Yada. Shout out Yada. Yada, by the way, is the reason why Dolo and I are beefing. I'm not beefing with Dolo. Shout out to Dolo. I still fucks with Dolo, but I just wanted to put that out there. Yada is actually the reason why Dolo is not friends with me right now. I just thought it's nice to see you. All right, because I defended you, Yada. I try to do my Gemini slick shit. It is what it is. He called her a bot. I try to be slick. I'm like, Yada, I didn't know you was a bot. She said, I ain't know either. Boom. He called me an old lumberjack feet face. This man just immediately just jeopardized all our coolers. He said I got paid by Masons and I'm a native hobbyist. That's the thing. You didn't even do anything. He just found your page and said you was a bot. I was like, damn, Yada, I didn't know you was a bot. And you know that slick Gemini sarcastic shit. He was not feeling that. Boom. Lumberjack feet face took me the fuck out, I promise you. That shit was the funniest shit ever. Then he called me a effing N-word in all caps. In the message, I was like, okay, what the fuck? Yes. Crazy shit. Dolo be doing the music videos with the guns. Aries is crazy. The shooter, Tyler, was an Aries. That's why I'm like, I want no smoke with Dolo. I think if we was fighting, I probably got him on the hands, but he looked like he shoot niggas. He looked like he shoot people. I'm good. I waved the white flag. I don't want no smoke. We're Gucci. It is what it is. He got the Sag moon. I'm good. Straight up. Oh, yes. I'm not going to lie. There was a Libra and a Pisces who was like, I got guns, 2-piece dealer. Just let me know. I was like, nah. He don't know what he doing. Just relax. So shout out to y'all. Yeah, you know who's Aries opposite? A Libra. I'm not gonna say this Libra's name. He's like, I don't even like this motherfucker. Let me know. I was like, nah, don't worry. He was ready. It's cool though. Aries males is a different breed. Yep. Yeah, he in my 12th house. Hidden enemies. It's cool. I still fucks with them. Shout out to that community. Shout out to that. I'm not trying to hate. But yes, that being said, Libra, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. So that being said, as we can see around this time next year, you're going to sign a new contract. Now, this is either independence, and this is going to be a new age of independence. That's why your independent individual liberties are going to be more challenged than they ever were. But 2020, Saturn and Capricorn taught you not to bow to false authority. So this is definitely going to work out if you maintain that integrity. As far as the past 6 months, we activated this. Then, of course, Taurus season. We had the last conjunction with Sun, Uranus, and Taurus activating this nature, of course, of your innovation. And the reason why that's important, guys, is because Scorpio season, we're going to harvest it. So let's actually go back a week before. Boom. This was the final conjunction we will ever have in Taurus. And next month, we're going to oppose it. It's going to retrograde back into Taurus. And that means everything that you have really innovated and revolutionized and invested in, you're going to begin to see unconventional returns through this Libra. That's why I want to set this up for you as I'm setting this up for you. This is not just the Libra season, guys. This is not just a Libra season. We had Gemini season that began to finally sextile Neptune, bring all this through Cancer, of course, into Aries. With the square, right? Then we had Cancer season. We activated the Jupiter in Cancer. So this first part we activated and planted these seeds. We planted the Pisces seeds. We planted the Chiron seeds. We planted the Uranus seeds and began to break through the ground. The Pluto seeds we planted in January. Then we planted, of course, the Sun Jupiter seeds in Cancer. And that's where, boom, we went into Leo. We started to break through and harvest the Pluto seeds we planted. And as you can see, 6 months from now, there's a party in my city A. Okay, we're going to have the super amazing party in Aquarius. Like, if you're invited, you'll know by Scorpio season. Libra season, you might get the invite. It's going to be exclusive party. This is going to be the second of the 20 awakenings that we're going to have. And please be clear, the Pluto Sun Aquariuses that we're going to have is going to be responsible for thousands of people every year awakening supernatural talents and abilities. You know you're a part of this wave if during the first 6 months you have been experiencing an initial level of supernatural potential. And be honest with yourself. I'm not talking about the delusional kind where you're looking for synchronicities. I'm talking about stuff you've made happen that isn't really the most outlandish. And for some of you it is, but it's like, wow, that just happened. Wow, I just made that happen. And bruh, if it's, we know you've been having synchronicities for a minute now. Remember, you're God. I'm giving this to you, God. I am, the inner God in me is giving this to the God goddess within you. We are the universe. We are the world. We are the children. I just want to sing that. That being said, your inability or your ability to accept what you are is having you facilitate this. And that's why I'm saying, if you're still caught up in a right or wrong way to do this, please understand there's no wrong way to do it. You just have to be. Who are you in this moment? Remember, we're set for life. What is everything you want? Literally move forward as if you already have it. That's all you have to do. And if you start thinking different, that's not going to fuck anything up. It still is what it is. You're being revealed this for a reason. Yeah. Almost as if God consciousness wants to experience itself through all these myriad of perspectives. Okay. So ask yourself why you doubt that. Ask yourself what external opinions that are not grounded in reality are pushing you to deny your own divinity. Because many of you are like me, trans divine. You're a god within a mortal shell. Okay. Shout out to my trans niggas in the building. And the reason why that's important, of course, as we go through Virgo season, is this is where we began to tie everything together. This was the integration point. You heard? We started to square Uranus for the first time. And that's the most important part. By the time we got into Virgo, we started to bring into, of course, the realization that you are beginning to apply, of course, a unconventional innovation to your behavior that you haven't before. Yeah, shout out to all my trans niggas, bro. All my trans divine niggas in the building. You know, you a god or a goddess in a human body. That's why I respect the transgenders. I definitely didn't understand it at first, but they paved the way for us trans diviners. Okay, all my trans niggas in the building right here. The road was paved for us. They did the hard stuff like going into women's bathrooms. So at the very least, they can open the road to know that the trans exists, and it does not cap at just genderism. There's trans divinity. Okay, for my fairies who are really trapped in a human body, for my angels, for my gods, my goddesses, we are the trans diviners. Okay, it's not a joke. Stop laughing at me. Stop laughing. This is serious. This is serious. Okay, you are not going to be transphobic and laugh at the truth, or you're transphobic. All right, we're not doing this. Thank you. Okay. Seriously. Transdimensionals. Shout out to Lauren Silva. Let's go. All right. Nobody is finna to take this away from us. We really exist. I'm not even, this is the very crazy. I'm actually not even joking. Like, we really, if you have Uranus, Neptune on your sun, moon, you trans divine, motherfucker. If you have Saturn with any alien construct, you're not even from this bitch. So I'm just telling you right now. Okay. It is what it is. It is what it is. So it is an honor to serve you, God. And the reason why this is very significant is what we are seeing here coming into Virgo season. That's going to make some of you uncomfortable because you were told you were a worthless sinner. You were told that there's no redemption for you outside of a head-canonized fictional entity who's never born in a certain place, but was literally lifted and borrowed from other ancient cultures. No, son. No, son. You do not need a middleman. The peace dealer is not your savior. Kendrick is not your savior. He told you, right? We are not your middleman. You summoned me. You real as fuck. That's why you're here right now. So that I can tell you what was always been planned for me to tell you. That you are the fucking shit. And I am more than just your hype man. So I'm going to, of course, really help you understand detailed mathematically the path forward. And that's why I wanted to bring the past 6 months into play. We've activated season 1, spring, Northern Hemisphere. We've integrated. We had the plot twist. The plot thickened. Season 2, summer. And now we're here at the harvest, the breakthrough, the climax. I'm arriving! Oh! That's that. That's what we're going to be experiencing over the next month. So why that's significant, okay, is now that we see these tenants, and this is why I want to show you next year. Look at next year. Boom, it goes further deeper into that. Okay, pause. So why that's important, I don't even know if I should have said pause. Why that's important, okay, is because now you are going to be aware of these supernatural dynamics in your relationships with others, the collective nut bust. And as you integrated these qualities through Virgo season, this is the first time now you're going to be applying the real nature and dynamic of how you begin to break this through. And the reason why I'm saying it like this is for the past 6 months, it should have felt, and I want you to comment an exclamation mark if this applies to you. It may have felt like I'm putting in all this work. I don't see the results. I know I'm developing, but I'm not entirely sure what that's supposed to look like. I know that I'm set for life. I know that I'm pushing forward, but where is it in my reality? Where are the relationships matching? And I want to be very clear, because I don't think this will apply to everybody, especially for those of you who know what fucking time it is and you create your reality, and you've already been seeing bits and pieces. But even then, you've just probably been seeing breadcrumbs. It's like the universe has been breadcrumbing you. It's like, you know what? Yeah, just keep believing. Just keep believing. For those of you commenting exclamation marks, I need you to understand that now that we are 180 degrees from Neptune and Saturn, every single day for the next 3 to 6 months, and shout out OG One Eye Cooks, you are going to be experiencing more breakthrough than you ever have within the past 6 months alone. I'm going to say that again. In one short month, you are going to experience more breakthrough than you ever have in the past 6 months. One, Saturn is 100% responsible for this stall and delay. What you are experiencing as a stall is a visual hallucination and illusion. Really, nothing is stalling at all. Your higher self from outside of this 3D construct is adjusting your external environment to fit you right at the right place, so that you're not doing anything before or after the timing. Remember, especially as a hard determinist, all of this shit is already written. It's already done. Your success is already done. You being set for life, you are already set for life. It is unfolding, right? A plant was not suddenly a flower. You are allowing yourself to grow and unfold your splendor. And you have to accept that there's absolutely nothing you can do to fuck that up. Like, there was nothing Noah could do. He had to tell these people the message that, hey, God wants to destroy you. And then he said, hey, tell them motherfuckers I don't want to destroy them anymore. I just told him you about to boom them. I don't care. I don't want to tell him. He had to do it. All right, my man, dude, the Bible is fire. The Bible is fucking fire. That being said, regardless, this is very important, because if you really now are locked in, that's what I'm saying. If you don't know your God, I need you to leave this chat. If you do not know that you got this shit on lock, and that you are moment to moment unfolding the infinite data that you have, because you can't access all of it now unless you're some weird ass Pisces or Aquarius, then of course, yes, I'm talking to you Aquas and Pisces, then you're really going to enjoy this, because everything that you have done over the past 6 months is about to gain so much profound context. You are going to doubt that you are going to be ashamed that you ever doubted anything you did over the past 6 months. You are going to question why you ever doubted. And the reason why is because you try to control the situation. You're going to understand the illusion and folly of your brain that wants to feel like it is a control of some causality, when there's nothing you can do. It's already done. All you have to do is, like Yeda, be. That's it. Get that movement in and just allow yourself to unfold moment to moment. You know you're set for life. That's now. You're feeling it now, as you're discouraged, as you're crying, as you're healing your wounds, as your body may not be in the best shape. It is there now. It is part of the process that is unfolding as it should. And I need you to be locked in on this before we move forward, because if not, in this opposition of open enemies is where the agents come through, because this is your breakthrough. If I was your op and I did not want to see you break through and succeed, this is going to be the period of time before you harvest where I want to fuck up and sabotage your harvest, make you feel you're not worth it, make you feel that there are authorities outside of you. Who do you think you are? What, you think you're a god? I just told you who I thought I was. What, you think you're a god? Oh, you think you control all this shit? You think you can do this? Bitch, I just let you know who I thought I was. I don't have to control anything. It's already done. You and I are not separate. We're already one. Simple. Simple. Literally. 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 That's it. That's it. So now that you have seen over this past 6 months, everything moving forward is harvest. That's the first thing I want to really illustrate. We've been an hour in and I didn't even really start the peace report. So for those of you who are just joining us, we barely just got started. I spent an entire hour making sure we are clear. You and I are not separate. We're already one. And you are now God. Look at me. Look at me. You are God. You are God experiencing itself. You are God's ears, eyes, mouth. You are its localized consciousness as we recognize the God within each other. That's not a religion. That's not a way of life. It is the fucking truth. This is a dream. This is a fucking illusion, a waking dream that is allowing us to experience this experience. Okay. So understanding that over the next 3 months, we are breaking through, okay, everything that you activated and integrated over the last 6 months is going to help you understand that there's nothing more to wait for. There's nothing you have to set up. There's nothing you have to do. Moving forward, all you have to do is show the fuck up and claim everything that you know is yours, literally. Okay. Boom. That's literally the only thing that makes the difference between an NPC and an actual playable character. Shout out to my main man Jack. Okay. NPC cannot form their own logic. They regurgitate and recirculate programmed input that was installed to them by their handlers. Everything that they think is regurgitated from an authority figure, from some official narrative. Even if it's unofficial, they do not have their own original ideas. If you ask them, okay, what do you think? They're not going to tell you what they think. They're going to circulate. When you form your own logic and you're able to interact, they're unable to do that. They're just going to recirculate back to what someone, that is an NPC, versus you who can create real time your own logic relative to information you're giving. You can think real time. And you are going to understand more than ever as we phase out this old world, who's going to die with the old world. Who's going to die with the old world, meaning that they refuse with their own conscious decision making, even though there's no free will, in order to actually be who they are versus be who the world told them they are. Who wants to move forward indoctrinated? Who actually wants to move forward authentically them? And trust me, you can move forward authentically you, believing in Jesus Christ, believing in Allah, being a Buddhist. Okay, I'm not telling you that if you believe in any of these religions, you'll never be your authentic self. As long as it's you doing it, as long as it's you in there practicing these faiths, not because you're afraid of going to hell and you were told, well, this is just what we believe. This is what. All right, when was the Bible created? Who wrote the first book of the Bible? Where's the historicity? Like, you don't know these answers. You know what you are told. You're regurgitating what you're told. And if that's what you want to do it. That doesn't make you an NPC or fake because you're making the decision. Okay. But do not do it because you were just told that's just what it is. You were told to believe that. And the past 10 years was an extensive deprogramming and unlearning. Now that you have unlearned, you're getting ready to break this through coming into the next 6 months, where, of course, by then we're going to step into a brand new program and cycle. Okay. So now that we understand that we're breaking through, let's now go over the 3 pillars. By the way, for those of you who want a live reading, click the description box below. Make sure you send me your natal chart and I will break down, of course, what this Libra season will be like for you if you want a mini reading. Now, if you want an actual reading, if you want a transit forecast, or I look at the next few seasons, go to my website, thepeacedealer.com. I no longer have my Virgo season sale, but if you want a discount code, shoot me an email. I'll give you a half off code. If you're ready to order, I got you. Okay. Now, with that being said, as we look at these pillars here, okay, the reason why that's significant, I want to once again emphasize everything that you're about to experience over the next 3 months is completely unprecedented. Like the president winning the popular vote and the electoral vote, completely unprecedented, at least for a long time. The dynamics you're going to be experiencing in relationships over the next 30 days is going to take into part everything you activated Aries season, the Gemini season, the new mindsets, the new non-negotiable values, and everything you've integrated through Cancer to Virgo, these evolved feelings, this greater passion, and this mastered habits and techniques. It's very important to understand the last 30 days about how you completely, totally changed your habits and align those habits to Saturn and Pisces, these belief systems that are now being reevaluated, because now you're applying them in relationships. And the reason why that's significant, especially if you've commented an exclamation mark, you're going to experience, once again, more breakthrough within a month than you have over the past 6 months, because you weren't just doing nothing over the past 6 months. Saturn and Pisces was testing you as it sneak peeked in Aries. It's like, well, this person says they believe in themselves. Okay, let me show them no results. Let's see, because that's what Pisces is going to test you on, especially with Saturn. It's like, okay, it's easy to believe something is working when you have results. It's easy to praise God when everything is going good, right? Cool. Let's show you no results. Let's see, does this person still stand as they are? Does this person still stand in the integrity of who they are if they get no results? If their business is moving slow, if they're not getting what they think they want, right? If they're not moving forward in the way they think they want, right? You have people who failed the test. They gave up on themselves. They realize they really just depend on external evidence and they rely on external validation, right? So they didn't get the compliments. These are the type of people that need to be complimented by other people to know that they feel good and they look good, right? They were devastated over the past 6 months. This was very hard for them because God forbid their faith be tested. And then you have you, the people I'm serving, that did not fucking stop you. You're like, that's it? That's it? You think this is enough to stop me? What? Bitch, I'm set for life. I told you what it is. And Saturn was just like, I knew you was a real nigga. I knew you was real. All right. Let the floodgates go. Give it to him. That's it. It was a sneak peek of what you're going to have to maintain over the next 2 years. The integrity of character. It's not enough to just practice what you preach. You have to really be that. You have to take action and step through as that. Okay. And for those of you who have broken that through, these dynamics, right, you're going to start to directly experience with other people. And that's why this is very important. Because once again, the difference between this year and last year, right, is this year you have finished a contract with a label that is desperate for you to re-sign. You're like Drake and UMG wants to sign you again. But if Drake decides to go independent, he's literally suing his label, right? So like if Drake decided to go independent, he'd probably be one of the most valuable free agents of all time. He could decide to just go full in on his OVO imprint, change the fucking game, or he can sign with a new label, or he can renegotiate with his existing label. This is the leverage that next year Saturn Aries wants to give you, as you can see right here. Okay. Whether you go independent, whether you sign with new management, It's going to depend on the next 6 months ahead, starting from now. What are you breaking through and where are you taking all of this? Okay. So the difference between this year is that you are coming out of this, out of the contract versus next year. And that's why, as a free agent right now, okay, we have Pluto, we have Neptune, shout out to Maryland, and we have Uranus. This is very, 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 very important. You have, I have to illustrate, you've never had a Libra season like this. For those of you who just entered, look at what it was last year. This was the last year Pluto was in Cap since America signed its Declaration of Independence. This was the last time Neptune was in Pisces. This was the last time Uranus was in Taurus since the last time America had its Great Depression that crippled the economy of the whole world, before Franklin Delano Roosevelt and all his new deals and plans. Am I right? Did FDR fix it? I'm assuming that's the case. I think that's the case. So boom, this is the first Libra season we're having that will be on par. Look, I'm even going to keep going forward. 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029, 2030. What do you notice? We see Pluto Aqua, we see Neptune Aries, we see Uranus still in Gemini. You see that Saturn now has caught up to Gemini. This is a new theme. It's already done. We already won. Okay. So very important, guys. This new theme that we are going to extend is like when you watch a sitcom, right? And in that sitcom, you're being introduced to new recurring characters that you're going to see for the next few seasons, but they're not the permanent fixtures of the show. Or they're certain main characters you've seen, but they've changed. They've switched the house they're in. Okay. So this is the first Libra season. You're going to be directly aware of this, with the agents of the Matrix wanting to push you back into old world thinking, wanting to ostracize you and make you and have you come off as weird or crazy. Now, if you're weird and crazy, that's nothing, but have you come off as weird and crazy for standing up for what you know is true about yourself and what you believe in yourself, what you're subconsciously and consciously expressing. Because what Libra season expresses and represents is the interpersonal relationship dynamic that bridges your individuality and how you feel with other people. Before Capricorn, where we decide where we go with all of that collectively, your place within the world. Now, Libra is now the first point of breakthrough. Okay. And the three pillars we want to look at that will go for at least the next 7 years with Uranus. The first one is the opposition to Neptune and Aries, this reimagining the breakthrough. You have come into a sneak peek of who you can be and how you are transcending this separation of illusion to believe that God is separate from you when God is you. You are God. Okay. But you are beginning to bridge this like somebody who just finished your last contract with the label, versus next year where you're going to do this like someone who is independent or someone who has renegotiated and signed a new contract with new management or with the same label. Okay. Do you see the distinction here? So you're seeing these new elements, and that's very important. Neptune will continue to oppose Libra every Libra season from now, even when it retrogrades back into Pisces. But it's very important to establish this. This opposition with Saturn and Aries is going to challenge every Libra season the integrity of character you are currently reimagining, and it's going to now break through the previous conjunction. That's why this is very important. What we are experiencing right now is the breakthrough of the conjunction we had at 29 degrees Pisces, the final mastery of this supernatural, metaphysical, astral realm adjacent placement and function in order to literally imagine and create through your imagination. So this is how you're bridging this through other people. Okay. I love that. So with that being said, The opposition is going to be our 180-degree breakthrough. Now, the Pluto trine is our 240-degree final breakthrough. So we have the 180-degree initial breakthrough that will finally break through in Sagittarius every year for the next 13 years, where we're going to break through how exactly we present this reimagination of our character, and then we show people the higher meaning of it by Sag and transform through Scorpio. Then we have the final breakthrough that breaks through on stage every Leo season for the next 20 years, where you're going to be performing how much more talented you are at expressing your supernatural abilities, mastered through Virgo, and now you present the final breakthrough of this balanced through your partnerships with others, how you're actually bridging this presentation of your character through others, completing the knowledge you've awakened. Okay. And to show you that, once again, that is this conjunction we had this 2025, of course, at the beginning of January. This is the very first one of its kind we've had this year. That's why this is very important, because Leo season was the first time ever in 248 years we ever broke this through. Now, be mindful, it's not the first opposition we had. We actually had this opposition last year, but last year, the conjunction was in Capricorn. As you can see, 29 degrees Capricorn. So this year is the first year we actually conjuncted in Aquarius. Huge deal. And we've gone from 1 degree to, of course, 1 degree trining. Okay. We have finished the first go around of a 20-year cycle of awakening your supernatural abilities. Okay. Okay. So with that being said, and yes, by Taurus season and next year, it's going to go back into Gemini. So with that being said, we have the opposition, we have the trine, and then we have, I think, the most relevant one, of course, Uranus conjunction. Now, the Uranus conjunction that we had was in Taurus. All right. We're not going to have the Gemini one until next year. Boom, shakalaka. All right. By this point, we've activated the 3 pillars, and that's what's going to really shape Libra season moving into this new world. This is the transition from old world into new world. So that's the most important thing you're going to begin to experience. The blending between worlds, the supernatural dynamics you saw hints of over the past 6 months, you're going to begin to see fully break through with other people. You're going to be seeing people mirror the synchronicities you've had, recognizing you as how you've recognized yourself. Won't happen like this again. Thank you, Jen. The trine this year is magic. And the best way to see this is if you've ever seen a TV show where the dynamics of the show changed forever because something happened with the main characters, or they introduced a new character that was recurring for the next like 5 or 6 seasons. This is that story mechanic, literary mechanic. And the reason why I have to say it like this is going to feel like, with these influences here, okay, this is going to feel like abilities you didn't think were possible, are real because you've experienced it through Virgo season, and now you're applying it with other people. So this year is going to be like, and I use this analogy a lot, this year is going to be like your Peter Parker, right? The mom switch, yeah. That was a little different because the character was the same. She just got recast, but that's the way you can see it too. That's actually the way you can see it too. Here's the thing. The breakthrough is going to be like Peter Parker using his web slingers for the first time, right? And then every year after this, he's already had his origin story, right? He's already, but I don't even like that analogy entirely. And thank you to the Supernova. I don't entirely like that analogy personally because it's definitely going to be way deeper than that. All right, way deeper than that. And I think what's significant relative to that is science is about to be lit. Everything that you thought could ever be explained by science is going to really be explained by science. Dreams, all sorts of life after death, which is already starting to be, but more mainly the science, the mental physics. Mental physics, I think, will be a really great way to the physics of your mind and how your thoughts are literally things and interface with the physiology of the world, the physicality of the world, physics, right? That being said, okay, the Pluto trine, the Uranus trine, and the Neptune opposition is reimagining your being like you're an anime character who is learning how to interface yourself, right? So this is literally like Superman before he became Superman. This is like Spider-Man before he became Spider-Man. And when we start, of course, the 6-month arc in Aries, this is you after you realize who you are, and now you're starting that off. This is like No Way Home. It's like I already had the montage through Virgo season. I understand this is who I'm meant to be, okay? And now we're pushing forward with that level of responsibility. Next year, you're debuting as who you are beginning to step into. And that's why it's very important, because it's like this year is like Doctor Strange. You're leaving your job being a doctor. You don't know a fucking thing about magic. By the end of the movie, you're Sorcerer Supreme, right? Next year, in April 2026, you're starting the movie off as Doctor Strange. You know the magic, but you still haven't developed your character within the mythos. It's not like you've had many different stories as this person. You're still just getting started, but you have been brushed up on your personal story and what you have to understand. This is why I want to bring in the idea of supernatural abilities. Supernatural abilities. Superpowers. Libra is the superpower of the zodiacs, the power of jumping. It's getting 5 people to jump 1 or 2 people, but it is the superpower of the zodiac. It is the applied intellect that enables you to break through this presentation of your character. And the universe, your higher self, has uploaded and downloaded attributes that moving forward, you're going to begin to update. That's another way to look at it. It's like you've installed a new computer and you were so busy programming it. Now you're showing it to other people. You get to see the graphics. So that's the most important thing I have to convey. The presence of Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus is going to make your relationships with people moving forward begin to adopt supernatural understandings you have kept within you. You're going to see this now bridge externally through you. Okay. And this is where now Uranus is applying this revolutionary innovation of mindset into how you bridge this into relationships with people. Pluto is harvesting this awakening of humanity and how much more unhinged people are becoming and how much more knowledgeable you are at a higher celestial out of this world level and how you bridge that with the rest of society. And Neptune is taking this transcendence, this dissolvement, this reimagination of your character and bridging that directly with society. Once we have that established, let's actually move forward. So basically, the moon in Libra is starting this transit off by balancing how exactly you're going to interface this with other people. And the next 2 days, as the moon gets ready to go into Scorpio to meet with Mars, right, is going to activate this power, activate this character you are polishing and developing, and join with Mercury to have your brain ahead of time process this socially defined information, whether you are out there in public or not. Meanwhile, Venus is integrating the unconventionality that the Sun and Mercury did when it entered previously last month towards your lifestyle and how you're polishing this unconventional innovation that you're destined to unlock. Then the moon's going to go into Scorpio. It's going to update with Mars because the last time the moon was in Mars, of course, it was in Libra, as you can see. So Ever since then, Mars has moved here, and the moon is updating this entire gap that Mars has traveled through. That's what it means for the moon to conjunct a planet. It's updating what it has passed by. Oh, dude, you're in Scorpio now. That's crazy. How did you feel about the end of Libra? I had to slap a few people in the face. I was involved in an assassination that took the country by storm. In fact, some people are implicating me that did it because it was exactly on its sun. Like, Mars is going through a lot of shit. And especially now that the square, the Pluto-Mars square, shout out to 12th House Queen, who kind of talked about this Pluto-Mars square. This is going to really complete the tensions that have been intensifying since the previous Mars conjunction. And as you can see, by January, we are going to have Mars, Venus, Mercury, Sun, all on Pluto. So this is the completion phase that the sun will eventually meet. The moon is going to manifest the psychoanalytical understanding of these new powers you're activating, of this new breakthrough that you're going to come into a much deeper psychological understanding of how to begin to transform and add so much depth towards. The grand water trine we're going to have with this integrity of beliefs is going to make sure that this expansion of this psychic emotions and the emotional body and the power of your psyche is further deepened psychoanalytically by how intensely you can feel this expansion and then use this intense emotion that's challenging this awakening of humanity and the knowledge that's going to really challenge this wisdom you're developing and how you form your belief systems to reinforce this holy, pure, divine grand water trine. Okay. Mind you, the sun is still breaking through opposite to Neptune and Saturn. So this is not just the Libra season. You are harvesting total breakthrough. And this is applying these belief systems so that once we step into the moon in Sag, we need to pay attention to every moon in Sagittarius over the next 7 years. It's going to oppose Uranus and Gemini. And these are going to be fucking insane because these are going to hyper accelerate the synchronization rate and process for you to align with how much quicker and instantly your brain is going to process and create experiences, and for you to actually be aware and catch these things. This is where Virgo is going to help you with the Venus square, polish the details you analyze, and we're still going to align with what you're destined to believe, predeterminism. So whatever you're meant to believe, you're meant to believe it. And it's going to be shaped by every single belief you've had since you were a baby. That's what led you to here. It was already written. So with that being said, the moon in Gemini is going to be the final 60 to 90 degree activation of the seeds we've planted with the final new moon in Virgo. This is what's going to begin to break through this innovative harvest of our mindset and show you the higher meaning of how your ability to process this phenomena supernaturally is speeding up. By the way, that's the whole purpose of Uranus and Gemini. So it's going to quick up your brain in order for you to process the supernatural. You've always been processing the supernatural, but the supernatural processes like a Windows 11 program and you were running on Windows XP. So you just could not run the program. You're already aware and hallucinate so much, and you are being asked to program stuff that is outside the range of the electromagnetic frequency you can even see. So Uranus and Gemini over the rest of the decade is going to quicken your mind's ability in tandem with Pluto awakening this universal facet of your mind in order to actually be more aware of these facets, in order to integrate these facets in your behavior, in your relationships, in the way you trust and deal with others, in what you see. That's why this is huge. Neptune and Saturn is like reimagining your hardware. So it's like taking your Xbox, upgrading it, and it's putting a special skin over it. This is who you're bringing yourself towards others. And you have to have the integrity to show up as that. Okay. And that's where there's nothing you really have to do. You just have to be and allow this to unfold around you. And this is where by the time we activate this with the moon in Sagittarius, it's going to be showing you the meaning of these actions you're taking towards people, how this is breaking through in alignment with your goals and what you're meant to achieve. And by the time we step, of course, into the moon in Capricorn, you're going to immediately understand utilization of these concepts. The seeds you planted with the new moon will effectively begin to break through the ground. And as that occurs moving forward and the moon opposes Jupiter, just like it began to harvest Uranus, as it will do every 28 days, now it's going to harvest Jupiter, as it will every 28 days until June of 2026, where we'll now have these oppositions with the North Node in Leo, with Jupiter in Leo, and the South Node. Okay, so this is where we're going to start to support the law with order. We're going to understand the order, utilization, organization, and control, or rather, the understanding of this organization necessary to sort through our partnerships and to give us more tangible insight around what direction we're taking with our character interpersonally. It's going to polish with Venus to help you understand how you are shaping up your habits. And of course, the square to Mercury is going to align and challenge what you're currently processing. This is where now, with the conjunction of the moon with Pluto and Uranus and Pluto, this is going to very sharply reawaken not only this depth of supernatural insight and knowledgeable insight, but now that we've founded the balance between what tangible decisions we can make in our partnerships, we can now go all in with the Leo signature and understand the knowledge and the sociological nature around the social spaces we're infecting, influencing, infiltrating, stepping into, bridging. Okay. Of course, every month, once we get to the eastern side, so the eastern is the west, which is weird. The north is the south. It's so weird. Like, this top part of the chart is southern. The south part of the chart is northern. The right part of the chart is actually western. And the left part of the chart is actually eastern. Don't ask me why. This is all available in my course, by the way. If you take my Astro 103 course, I go into all of this, the aspects. Is that, yeah, 104 or 103? We go into that in both of them. The signs, the houses, yeah. But that being said, and 102. That being said, Moon in Aquarius is going to start to awaken much more extreme knowledge, but that grand air trine we have is also going to give you this higher knowledgeable understanding of how you are radically innovating your mindset, and how this, the purpose of this is you're going to start to experience in these relationships people who you speak the language to, people who speak that language with you, how you are demonstrating and expressing these supernatural powers with the right people who facilitate them, with people who challenge them, so that that challenge is friction, which creates more growth, and how, of course, you are knowing this greater expression of this potency. We're now going to integrate all of this through with the moon in Pisces. That's going to integrate your understanding of what you believe in order to bridge with who you are being. Okay, so this is going to integrate how you are believing in the actions you take. Starkly opposite Aries, that integrates the analysis of your behavior relative to yourself as an individual. The relationship, altruistic, interpersonal, dynamic aspect with Libra gives us a collective belief, systematic understanding of how our beliefs integrate our actions towards others. So this is just going to tie together everything we've activated since yesterday. And this is going to revisit with Venus over the nodes how much you've also polished habits you've already mastered. And this is where, when the moon goes over Saturn, we're revisiting this reevaluation of our belief systems. So from now until the end of the year, coming into, let's say, February, every time the moon goes over Saturn, we're reevaluating our belief systems to make sure, hey, are we applying? Yeah, bro. Let him breathe, fam. Let him breathe. Give him more courses. You can. I don't know your schedule. You might have it more condensed, but let it be fun because a lot of the shit. My 102 is so condensed. I had to make it its own class. But that being said, you feel me? Like the integration here and this reevaluation of our belief systems is going to make sure we are applying this. Once we get into Sag season, at the end of Sag season, is going to go direct. So then every time the moon is on Pisces and Saturn and Neptune, we're now getting ready to move forward with how we're square, literally square on these belief systems. So that by the time we step into the new contract, right? This is like by the end of the year, you've negotiated what you believe you want to move forward with. And if they can't meet you, you're going independent. If they can't meet you, you're signing. By the time we get into Aries, you're signing. Activating that contract straight like that. But once we get to this point during the full moon, what this is going to really exhibit is now relative to the activation of this breakthrough, you are understanding the individual authenticity of the social bridging of your persona. Who is the real you that you are presenting towards Libra others? What's also key here is Mercury will have made it into Scorpio, thus integrating this innovation and being the second planet to cross the finish line and begin to complete the Pluto awakening that happened with the subsequent previous conjunction or the previous conjunction. That will lead to the subsequent conjunction back in January of 2026. January like 21st, 22nd. So this is where this full moon, we're going to begin to break through the breakthrough, okay? And even as the moon goes through Chiron, the reimagination of Neptune is just going to have to revisit how authentic we are not compromising who we feel we are in really expressing this facet of ourselves to others. And then, of course, the moon that's going to go into Taurus is going to transform the tangible, natural understanding and manifestation that transforms our dynamics of what we're expressing, because now we're feeling very tangibly the expression of our beliefs we've integrated and the tangible quality of how the supernatural quality of our abilities directly affects other people. This natural, tangible evidence that we began to balance with the moon in Capricorn is what's going to transform the dynamic of how specifically we're engaging with others. That will lead into the moon in Gemini that's getting ready to retrograde back into Taurus, revisiting and reevaluating this innovation of our mindset. We are directly bridging. So by the time we get to the Sagittarius signature in Gemini, get at that, we're going to understand the meaning of the radicalized nature of our mindset and how we're bridging. Remember, you're like Spider-Man before he knows he's Spider-Man. You're like Doctor Strange before he had the confidence to call himself Sorcerer Supreme. So like you're now beginning to see the nature of you talking this magic language with people who probably don't believe in magic, or with people who are studying this magic with you. We're just using that as an example. You're beginning to break through into fields, bridging your character and beginning to sneak peek dynamics of the new world, like the increased telepathy, the increased relationship with the collective unconsciousness, the increased relationship with your higher self that you will interface as a higher facet of your mind versus some figurative, metaphoric existence, but it actually being real, right? This is where by the moon in Gemini, you're coming into the truthful understanding and meaning of what you're communicating, so that by the time you really adjust this mindset, you move forward and complete the feeling of these bridged actions with Cancer. And that's what's going to make this pretty exciting, because the moon Jupiter conjunction is definitely going to once again remind you of everything you're breaking through and completing, but it's also going to revisit everything you've done since 2017, and it's going to show you how you fully completed that evolution cycle and where to take things, who to achieve that with, who to feel excited about. Moon opposite Pluto, trying all this Neptune and sextile Uranus, that's going to really bring around this entourage-like feeling as Mercury and Mars, okay, go deeper into Scorpio. preparing for Scorpio's retrograde. Jupiter's retrograde at 25 degrees. Mercury is now, as it steps into Scorpio, intensifying the psychoanalytical depth of information ahead of your awareness as you're still connecting with the right people, taking these established bridging actions. Mind you, the moon coming into Leo is what's going to bring Venus in her dignity. She's going to return home, and now she's going to also reimagine with this grand air trine. So we can't sleep on that, because everything we're aware of that's happening right now, Venus is going to begin to polish the actions we've already taken 20 days ahead in our general awareness of how we're relating with others. Then, of course, we're going to have the balsamic phase with, of course, the moon in Virgo, reevaluating old habitual patterns that no longer align with the new moon in Libra, which is going to be through Venus, the new direction we're going to take with people as we break through into the new world, okay? As we break out of our old contracts, as we get ready to step into the new world contracts. So one thing to keep in mind, Neptune is going to retrograde back into Pisces by the time we step into Scorpio season, 29. Okay, we're going to end Libra season off with that new moon, activating this deeper psychoanalysis. So unlike the next couple of days where the moon is initially going to go into Scorpio, and we're understanding how to penetrate much deeper into how we bridge our relationships with others, everything that we have effectively begun to break through. Once we end this transit, we're going to see what we have begun to transform and how we're going to be much more aware of what Mars and Mercury, our action orientation and desire, and our brain processing has already really guided us through, influenced or led us through what we're thinking, to be more aware deeply of that. And that's where the opposition to Chiron is going to be significant, because the 6 months prior where we activated, I think one of the final, Chiron Tauruses, because Chiron is not going to be in Aries for that much longer. Chiron won't be in Taurus until 2027. So this is going to be one of the final Chiron Aries lessons that is making sure we remember that we are not a slave to our own vulnerabilities and ego, and that we can break through more of this self-healing that comes through showing up with others and the right people who support us and don't try and manipulate us. Okay. Now that is Libra season in a nutshell. Now that I've broken through the mathematics, it's important to understand this is going to be your firsthand look at everything that you've been working on internally and seeing how you're demonstrating it effortlessly without trying with other people, how you're applying the behavioral patterns you spent the last 30 days integrating, and how this really turns to change the way you personally kind of interact with people, period. It's going to start to manifest like-minded individuals who resonate at the frequency you've spent the last 6 months honing. And it's going to prepare for you to push forward. Now, as far as the rapture is concerned, the biblical interpretation of the rapture, of being caught up, as far as people may say, I don't believe it may happen exactly like that. And I don't certainly believe it's going to happen tomorrow. But what you might find happens tomorrow is, like magic, suddenly all the right people are in your life. You're meeting the right people. You're having conversations with people who finally get it. It's almost as if a certain aspect of yourself is raptured. It's almost as if you're operating on the higher plane of your reality real time. And you're starting to connect dots that it won't be until Scorpio and Sagittarius season that we get to the bottom of things. Remember, Libra is the beginning of breakthrough. This is where, of course, the climax begins to come through. Libra is right after the montage. Okay, astrologically, what you're speaking on sounds like rapture. Newness, exactly. This is where we're going to start to notice a lot of things you thought were just in your head and that you're just experiencing, you're demonstrating to other people. A lot of the stuff that you kind of passed with the I Told You So tour, the last 2 years that the South Node was in Libra, you're seeing the results for. Because now there's more of a confidence in your demonstration of your skills and abilities. You can do it real time. You can do it without a moment's notice. This is going to really bridge you with a lot of people you're meant to connect with. People who are meant to find you will find you. And all you have to do is just push on forward. The next 3 months is 100,000% all about breakthrough and putting yourself in a position to show up for what it is you've claimed. And that's literally it. That's literally all you have to kind of get ready to do. As soon as we get into Scorpio season and really intensify things, we're going to complete the first Pluto cycle that we had. And that's what we're going to look into coming into the next Scorpio season. Because that's Colby, you know exactly what I'm talking about, bro. The once we step, first of all, the Mars Mercury Pluto square is going to be a sneak peek this Libra season, and you're going to see this intensity in your relationships with others. And the most important thing I'm going to tell you is to not fucking fold. I don't care how many people try and manipulate you, ostracize you, try and ridicule you, try and make you feel stupid because you're standing on certain things you know yourself to be. God. Right? You don't have to tell people to worship you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying to have this unrealized sense of thinking you're better than people, but yes, you're gonna walk like a prime Yeezy who came in the download interview and said, "I'm God, bitch." Like, fuck is we talking about? This is before he said he was a Nazi. But that being said, like, you have to come with that full awareness, show up fully present within yourself, and allow everything to unfold. And this is the most important thing. If you're still doubting yourself, you're a loser. If you're still at this point complaining about external circumstances, acting as if they're holding you back in any way, you're choosing that. You are actively choosing that. If you are going out of your way to list all the reasons why something you want will not work for you, you are choosing that. It's not happening to you. You are actively choosing that. As we harvest over the next 3 months and breakthrough, I ask of you to choose conscientiously in your thoughts, in your decisions, in your feelings, what it is you want. We are infinity heirs. We're set for life. Our net worth cannot be put in a bank. And it's so much, people will laugh at us. They'll be like, this motherfucker's crazy. They think they're worth infinity. And I'm going to be like, I just told you what I think I'm worth. Infinity. And if you knew who you were, you know you're worth that too. Simple shit. And not in a metaphorical way. You are going to break through the ability to monetize that at any time. You have a supernatural bank transfer that transfers from metaphysical to physical. You have created the neural pathways over the past 6 months, 30 years, and really genetically, generationally. All right. So you are beginning the process of breaking this through. Please make sure everything you do reflects that, especially in your dealings with others. And I will see you Scorpio season. Tomorrow, we are going to do the monthly fire tribe report. So we're going to break down this Libra season for fire signs. And all I want you to do really is to just remind yourself what the fuck time it is. Okay. I have the resources down below. Ultimate Manifestation playlist. I added 2 new videos. And none of these things manifest for you. Only you manifest. Okay. It's very frustrating because I tell you that you create your reality. And then some of you still ask me shit like, how do you think I can get through this situation? Can you send me energy? Because, I'm not sure how I'm going to make it through. Bruh, you're going to make it through. Literally just tell yourself, I got this shit. If you can't relax and you're freaking out, freak the fuck out. It's not going to stop you from doing what you're going to do. It's not going to stop you from being set for life. It's like, we'll tell you create your reality, But then you tell me, oh, hey, I'm still looking for a job. I'm still wanting this to happen. Do that. Be that. Live your life. You're still in this world, but move forward knowing you already got it. It's already here. Why are you still trying to convince yourself that you're set for fucking life? You're set for life. This is the last thing I'm going to say, okay? Do you have to convince yourself that your name is your name on your ID? Do you have to be like, I'm Michael, right? You have your sex and gender, right? You have your year. I was born 1990. I was born 1990. As if you don't manifest it, it's magically gonna change. You don't have to do that because you know your name is your name. In fact, even if the ID card got your name wrong, you're not going to be like, oh no, this is my name now. You're going to be like, oh, they just got it wrong. I know what my name is. Do you get what I'm saying? This is how powerful you are. God, I'm here to remind you of that because clearly you forgot. It's literally that simple, fam. Just like you do not have to change your name in an ID and you don't have to say it over and over to know that that's your name. You don't have to keep saying you're set for life. Or you can know. So some of you might do it because you like how it feels. Do that. But like, you don't have to convince yourself of this. You're set for life. Whether you believe it or not, motherfucker, we have manifested this with you. Be that. Whether you have $0 to your name, knowing that this process is going to continue to unfold for you, whether you believe that or not, walk forward as if and bring that into every relationship. Because like I was saying, you don't have to check on the ID for you to affirm your name is your name. You do not have to keep checking your DoorDash order that you ordered what you ordered. They even give you the idea, push a T. They even give you the idea, believe it or not, baby, that, hey, if there's any substitutions we're making to the order, we'll let you know. So like, that's literally it. You don't have to keep checking the 3D. Do you keep checking your name to see if your name changed? You do not have to keep checking your environment that, oh, why haven't I got what I wanted? Because you already have it. If you already have a cellular phone, are you going to be wishing for a cell phone? No, because you already have it. So this is going to be the season that begins to separate and divide between, even though separation is an illusion, this is going to be the season that marks who really understands what they got and how they move as if, and who is still waiting for validation. Because if you're still waiting for validation, you're going to get it from all the people who will tell you what you're not. Versus if you decide and tell yourself what you are and you let that be what it is, you be, do, have, and you move forward as if. You're not waiting for fucking proof. You are the proof. You are the source. It's only going to happen because you know who you are. You've decided that's what it is, baby. You guys stay blessed as always. As always, it is a great, supreme honor. And until next time, I will see you guys. www.thepeacedealer.com. Order a reading. Supernatural.passion.io. Join my app, and I'll see you tomorrow.